So I just got out of the new Jurassic Park movie, and boy, is this franchise on its last legs. This series has gone so off the rails. This literally makes the last couple look like masterpieces. I'm dead serious. Now, I am qualified to speak on these matters because I am an official Jurassic Park park ranger, okay? But, the original is one of my all-time favorites, as it is for a lot of people. I'm also a big fan of the books. Probably the first adult novel that I read. I can't describe, how boring this movie is. The storyline is literally a fetch quest where they have to find 3 dinosaurs. They have to conveniently find the 3 largest dinosaurs. It's so stupid. It's so video game. I think I'm going to classify this movie, Alien Romulus, and the Ghostbuster Afterlife movies. I think there's a new category we have to create. I'm going to call it fake movies because they don't feel like real movies. I know it's a cliche to say that movies are fast food, but these new movies literally feel like artificial representations of something else. They're not real movies. Okay. I don't know why this movie was made. I don't know if it's a vanity project for David Koepp, but I can tell you right now, because this movie is written by David Koepp, who is the screenwriter for the first 2. He's worked with Spielberg a lot. And after seeing this, I now attribute less than 10% of the magic of the first movie to David Koepp. Okay, because he wrote this, and I don't know what this was. I don't know if it was a vanity project for him. But it feels like he's reusing feels like he's using ideas that he didn't get to use in the originals, but they're not even his ideas. He's just reusing ideas from the books. They're still pilfering set pieces and things from the original book. Okay, that speaks to both the creative bankruptcy of the filmmakers and the immense talent and mind of Michael Crichton. Okay. But everything from the river raft sequence, the idea that a small group of people are coming to an island to get something out of eggs, not saving the girl who falls off the boat. That's basically in the second book when Dodgson shoves Sarah Harding off the boat, and then later she gets revenge on him. What else? There's even a little speech about how the earth will survive us. That's all from the original book too. They're better off at this point just trying to clone Michael Crichton. Forget about dinosaurs. Just try and bring him back to life. Okay? Spielberg has been a really bad caretaker for this series because he's been there as in an executive producer fashion behind all of these. He's overseen them, and he really should have just given up control after the first one. Give it over to James Big Dick Cameron, because James Cameron wanted to direct the first one. James Cameron has said that he wanted to direct the first Jurassic Park, and he would have made it a lot more like Aliens, a lot more scary. Speaking of which, this movie feels kind of like Alien Romulus. It even has, every one of these Jurassic Park movies now has to have a final boss dinosaur that was bred in a lab for some reason. The Indominus Rex, the Indominus Raptor, and now whatever this thing is supposed to be, it looks like a xenomorph, weirdly. And I say that for the future of the series, you need to do what they're doing with Alien Earth. I think a mini-series, and this is something I've thought for a long time, I think that you could do a Netflix mini-series where you basically just remake the original story. A remake of the first Jurassic Park, but with enough runtime where you could do it more faithfully to the book and do it very tonally different. Have it be more like the book where it's more violent, more adult. Just reimagine this series not aimed at families and kids. No kids, not aimed at large Mexican families. I saw them trying to shoehorn Dora the Explorer into this one, okay? And the little microceratops thing in her backpack, which, by the way, I know weird guys on the internet were mad about, but that's the least offensive thing in this movie. It's just one of those things that weird guys on the internet get angry about for some reason. Like porgs. But this movie has much bigger problems. For example, it's insanely boring, and Gareth Edwards, he should be making like dry documentaries about the history of meat pies. Not, his movies are so boring. And the thing is, like, this one, Gareth Edwards, if you don't know, made Rogue One and he made the 2014 Godzilla. But even by those standards, he doesn't feel like his heart is in this. Like, say what you want about Colin Trevorrow, you could tell that Colin Trevorrow, like, loved the Jurassic Park movies and was trying to pay homage to them, right? In his own weird way. This feels so half-assed and mercenary, and it also feels like Gareth Edwards is trying to do something that he hasn't done before, which is he's trying to go in more of like a light-hearted tone, and it does not work at all. Like, he needs to stick to like deadly serious boring mode, because he's actually better at that, even though I don't like that either. He's better at that. You got Scarlett Johansson as a mercenary, badass tough chick who barely does any badass tough chick things in the movie, really. And this movie also has the issue that all of the Jurassic World films have, which is the dinosaurs themselves are just like personalityless. They're like video game monsters. They just do over and over the same thing where they roar at the camera. They roar and they charge and they roar at the camera. They go, roar. This time it roars at the camera. Like, stop. You just don't get any like feeling of love of dinosaurs from this movie at all. No passion. There's some member berries, but this time around, even the member berries just feel so half-assed and like, hey, remember this? Remember the raptors in the kitchen? We're doing it again. Yeah, this movie is worthless. It is spiritually bankrupt. It is ineffective in even what little it attempts to do. It is instantly forgettable. I mean, I remember thinking that about Jurassic Park 3 when I first saw it in theaters as like a 13-year-old or whatever. I'm like, well, that was like a forgettable piece of fluff. But this makes Jurassic Park 3 look like your most cherished childhood memory, okay? It is, I don't know why it even exists. Well, I do know, but the speech by Ian Malcolm from the first Jurassic Park, it really does weirdly feel apt when he's talking about scientific power and how it's like inherited wealth. You kind of build on what the last guy did, but because you don't earn the knowledge yourself, because you don't put in the work, you just kind of inherit these tools. And that's what these filmmakers are inheriting. They're inheriting these powerful technical tools, and they're inheriting a previous body of work that is incredible, and they're inheriting screenwriting bibles that tell them how to like write characters and build arcs. And look what they do with it. Like, it is like kind of like a fail son kid who gets a lot of money and doesn't know what to do with it, like Baron Trump. Like we live in an age of where filmmakers are like Baron Trump. Speaking of Trump, it felt like there was even some unintentional or intentional social commentary in this one with the large Hispanic family. And like, I mean, I'm sure we've all seen the stories about the alligator moats being built around Trump's super prisons. Please don't go to this movie. Don't pay money. Please stay home. Make them feel foolish for have even made this movie. Make them feel foolish for trying to sell you this embarrassing non-product, this artificial recreation of something that feels like a Jurassic Park movie. Okay? Skip it.